My name is Louis Crandall, Louis Eugene Crandall, and 50 years ago we came up with an idea of building an amusement park for Arizona.
Well, it all begins with a man named Louis Crandall, who was an advertising agency owner here in Phoenix in the early 60s. He was a graduate of ASU, went to Mesa High School, and he fell in love with Disneyland when he went to visit California in the mid to late 50s. And he became very infatuated with Walt Disney's vision for an amusement park. And he quickly decided that this needed to be done at his home in Phoenix.
Disney people, the men that built Disneyland took an interest in what the little guy in Phoenix, Arizona was trying to do, and they just couldn't wait to be a part of it. And they came over, these men that Walt Disney used to design Disneyland. They're out of business. That's done, and some of them stayed there, and some of them now are available. And I hired them.
The park winded up being located on East Washington Street, right on the Tempe-Phoenix border, south of Papago Park. And when he saw this location, he noticed there were two ravines running through the land, which turned out to be, in the end, would be the lagoon and the river ride. And he thought this would be an ideal place.
And then all of a sudden we found that there was a piece of property available. Washington and Van Buren came down and then into Tempe. And I was able to put together a little corporation, and we were able to buy a piece of property there.
When Louis Crandall got in touch with Wallace and said, I've got this property and these are my plans. And I think initially we had heard for so long, there's going to be an amusement park over here, or there's going to be an amusement park somewhere in the state. And it never had the financing, whatever it was. So we waited a while, and then all of a sudden he started sending us pictures of the rides. And then when the lagoon stage came in, that was our stage. And we just had an absolutely marvelous time.
Later that same day, Ladmo's on stage. The crowd is cheering. Hold it! Justice! Here comes Captain Super now. Uh-oh, the crowd is leaving. Forget it, Captain Super, you're all through. Where are they now?
In those days, Tempe was here, and then some miles away was Phoenix, so it wasn't this one contiguous city like we have now. Tempe definitely had its own feeling and was definitely its own community, more isolated than today. And in between that was Legend City.
Legend City was our amusement park. And no, it wasn't as fancy as Six Flags over Omaha, or it wasn't as spectacular as a Disney park. But it was ours. And it was pretty darn neat. It really was. I mean, the rides were pretty cool rides. There was the tunnel, and then the sky ride. It was ours. We could always go to Disneyland, but that was theirs. We were kind of guests there. And when you've got your own, even in the summertime, when you would have burn scars on your tush from sitting on the metal seats on some of the rides, great fun.
Legend City was a great place to work because the employees were mostly high school and college age. So we were all young, full of energy. You know, our whole life was ahead of us. And it was like, I used to look forward to going to work because I was going to have a great time. And on the weekends in the winter, that meant on Saturday, I think we opened at noon and ran till midnight. So it was a really long day. But it was fun. You look forward to it. And then because we were all young and full of energy, after work we'd party for a few hours, and then sleep for a few hours, and then go back to work at noon on Sunday.
You could drop your kids off at Legend City. You didn't see every child with parents and grandparents escorting them around. Kids had the freedom to wander around their theme park and just have a great time. And at the end of the day, when they had booed themselves crazy over Gerald and cheered for Ladmo, they could always go to the payphone and call Mom and Dad if they hadn't made arrangements already.
You know, you'd walk in, just a miniature of Disneyland. There'd be the train, the station, you'd go through gates to get in, then you'd walk down the main street, and then off to the right would be the boat ride where it'd take you on a river, and it'd go around, there'd be Indians and stuff like that. Further down would be the Lost Dutchman's Mine ride, and you know, you had the Kiddie Land with all that stuff going on there. There'd be an island where the band played, where you kind of walk down and the band would be down there. That drew a lot of the young high school people.
This magnificent train cost $85,000 but oh my, there's dirty work afoot. It's a real old-fashioned train holdup. Fortunately, the good guys are on the job. Naturally, the good guys win, and the Legend City Railway chugs away to happy horizons.
Well, the river ride, it was a boat that went around a channel of water, and various animated things happened. A bear came out, you know, Indians attacked. You had to go under a waterfall and through a cave where there were pirates and such.
And the spielers who pilot the boats are alone worth the admission price. Listen to this fine piece of emoting.
All be real quiet. Oh dear me, what's this spring? Oh, to my right over there! Watch out! And straight ahead, folks. 1, 2, 3, it's going out those men. There's Indians on our right over here. We're gonna be cut off the crossfire now. Everyone, please get down. Would you kids please get down? Watch out! Oh, but straight ahead, look at Pete Fernandez. He's painfully struggling, trying to get that arrow out of his chest. Look at him, dear me. You ladies get down too, but... And straight ahead, that is strange-looking rock formation. The slightest sound might cause us some problems now. Shh! Watch out! No! Oh.
We had to have security around Gerald constantly because he was rotten. He was terrible. It was the greatest character to play in the world. But then, so Gerald, finally Wallace caught Gerald causing some kind of trouble, blaming Ladmo. Gerald gets sent off stage. The band does a number, giving me just enough time to go boom, boom, like this, put the costume on, grab the guitar. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the star of our show, Hubcap and the Wheels. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. And particularly because everybody knew it was the same guy that they were just booing as Gerald. But Legend City was so unbelievably important to us.
I got a call from the manager of the park saying, as I remember, saying, there's going to be a movie film there in the morning. Can you get some people and secure the park? So we did that, and that's all I knew. I had no idea, and the back gates opened, and in came this motorcycle gang amongst other people, and the name of the gang was the Dirty Dozen. And they were a pretty notorious gang back in the day, in the 60s in Arizona.
Well, I can't make it, man. Okay, come on, come on. Woo! Woo! Thanks. Anytime.
Barf Boulevard. What was Barf Boulevard? Well, the official name was The Hill, and that was just an area where there were the carnival kind of rides.
The Cuddle Cups.
The Tilt-A-Whirl, the Cuddle Cups, the Rock-A-Plane, the Paratrooper, the kind of rides that spun you around and could make you a little nauseous, with the ensuing results if you'd just been down having a hot dog or whatever.
And the ever-ready hose.
Yes, so yeah, that particular section of the park got a lot of cleaning.
No one wanted to work there.
No, but those were fun rides. For the ride operator, those were the good rides because you could find money at the end of the night from people being turned upside down.
Toward the end, like the last couple of years, Wallace would say, looks like they're in kind of serious financial problems. And I don't remember the rides being in bad shape, or I don't remember them not always operating. I've read that. I really only remember what fun the audiences had.
So many people still have great memories. If you mention Legend City, I remember I used to go there. My mom used to take me, and you know, we had a birthday party there. Or I mean, people just have wonderful memories of this place where the rest of the world disappeared, and you were there.
Every few years we hear of a developer who's talking about, you know, bringing a major amusement park here, and but it never seems to materialize. And I think the perceived failure of Legend City, maybe the perception that, oh, it's just too hot to be here, you know, it's too hot to have an amusement park here, look at what happened to Legend City. I think some of these ideas are still floating around out there.
If you've ever been in any of the towns where there's a Six Flags over something, they got heat and humidity. So I have no doubt that there will be another amusement park, a theme park of some kind, because there's just so much potential profit here for that. But there'll never be another Legend City.
Legend City lives on in the minds and hearts of many thousands of people.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for visiting with us at Legend City. All rides and attractions are now over. We'd like to remind you that you could leave the park either through the front gate entrance or through the Sky Ride. Thank you.
That's the reason for this Legend City in the Valley of the Sun.